Hello, YouTube. Well, it's been a while. I love to study. Like, my whole life, I've never had any want or desire to have any type of study. And in these past 10 years, it has been absolutely mind-blowing. And I say it like that because it is to me. I sit and I look around and I realize that everywhere around me I've got books, and I'm writing stuff all the time, because I really take it to heart. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, one of the very last verses in chapter 12, where he says, there is no end to writing books, and much study is weariness of the flesh. I do a lot of wrong. I'm a sinful person, but that is natural, it's normal. Yeshua HaMashiach woke me up to the book of Ecclesiastes, and that's what started a lot of realizing and understanding that there's nothing new under the sun, that everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to be joyful in everything that I do, no matter what. But here recently, there's been a study that has come in and out of my life several times, and it's about the black cube. I've had dreams of being in the belly of the serpent and seeing all these computer screens, these television screens all around me. And I could stand in the middle of the serpent, this circle, and put my hand up and pull one of these screens down. And each screen, thousands of screens, I couldn't see the end of them. Each screen had a face in it. And when I would put my hand up, I was able to do 3 in the dream, the vision that our Father blessed me with. I pulled 3 down, one at a time. And when I locked eyes, because I was standing in the middle of this circle, when I locked eyes with the person in the screen, the face in the screen, I could feel everything about them. I knew everything about them. Within seconds, it was being fed into me. Thousands of them. Well, my friend, who's in his 60s, 2 weeks after I had this dream, he shows up at my job, and it was the first day we met. And he proceeds, when I go outside to just take a break, he proceeds to tell me this dream that he had. We just met. And he says that he's seen this serpent crawling through the desert, made up of all these screens, television screens, computer screens, screens, just screens of making up this serpent. He just seen the screens. He didn't see anything on the screens. He just seen the screens, right? Well, I got obsessed with this black cube and trying to understand how in the world does a cube have 7 sides. I understand the 6, okay? But how in the world does it have 7? And come to find out, the middle is the 7th, the Holy of Holies. And years ago, I got into a huge study on CERN, the Large Hadron Collider in CERN, Switzerland, and found out that little Oak Ridge, Tennessee's got a collider. Well, and they've got a supercomputer here called the Titan, the Giants. And come find out, Tennessee is surrounded with these mounds that the Giants built. Not the Native Americans, the Giants. Do your own research, you'll find that out. But getting into the understanding of CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, and realizing that this whole machine is set up as the chakra system, the Hindus' chakra system, the 7 chakras. Alright, we're specifically going to focus on the 7 chakras because it's on the body, but there's actually 13, but we're only going to talk about the 7. Well, these chakras, each one represents the sides of the cube, right? So they've created this machine. And around the same time they created this machine, a yogi in New York, Tennessee, in New York, a female yogi started the first yoga class in the United States of America. The same time this machine was being put up. It was in the 40s. Well, this cube is very specific in the Freemasons. The Freemasons is a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood of all these different religions. And if you're Hindu, Muslim, Catholic, you can walk into these doors and you can no longer are you this different religion or cult. You're now in the brotherhood cult that's called the craft. Now Daniel chapter 8, verse 23 describes to us about the end times and how there will be one that will come and speak dark sentences. He will know and understand how to speak dark sentences. In the beginning, our Father created everything with His words. He spoke everything into existence. So the Hebrew language is very specific and very peculiar. It is very powerful. The whole Freemason cult, every one of them, the whole cult itself is symbolized around the Hebrew language. Every bit of it. All their little rituals, traditions, and things that they do, they're stories that have been pulled out of the Bible, the Word of God, and they reenact them physically with their little rituals, their things that they do. I'm not kidding. Look this stuff up yourself. But if you will see the main Grand Lodge of the Freemasons, they have a black cube that sits in the middle. Huge black cube. This black cube has Hebrew around it, engraved around it. There's a reason for that. It's because the Hebrew language is being used. But our Father says in Ezekiel 7:22 that they will defile, or not will, they are defiling His secret places. They are digging into His secret treasures. But as we know, Aaron was given this ability to have power over the holy things, even carry the burden over the holy things. It is called a burden over the holy things for a reason. Because this power that comes with these holy things can become very desirable. And you can forget who created them, and you can start using them for your own good. But anyway, Daniel chapter 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand, because he will not ever demolish Yeshua HaMashiach, the Prince of Princes. Never. So, there is a king. It's going to come. He's going to understand things of the dark senses. Now, I just found out today, Yahuwah Yahusha just helped me realize that in the Word of God, that in Micah, is it Micah? Oh, please let it be. Oh, no. Let's see. I'm not retaking this. I just wrote it. Oh, Nimrod. This is how the enemy works. He keeps you from knowing. Okay, well, in Nahum, the book of Nahum, place of Nimrod. Nimrod is mentioned. I never knew that. I never knew that Nahum, in the book of Nahum, Nimrod was mentioned, which I haven't really done much studies on the name of Nimrod because so many people have, but Nimrod. Oh, it was either Nahum or Micah. I've been in those two a lot these past 2 mornings. Please forgive me. There it is. It's in Micah. Please forgive me. Please have patience. Okay, Micah 5. We'll start at 4. And he shall stand and feed in the strength of Yahuwah, in the majesty of the name of Yahuwah, his Elohim, the Lord is God. And they shall abide, for now shall he be great upon the ends of the earth. He's talking about Yeshua, Jesus. 5. And this man shall be the peace. Talking about Jesus, all right. When the Assyrian shall come into our land, and when he shall tread in our palaces, then shall we rise against him 7 shepherds and 8 principal men. 6. And they shall waste the land of Assyria with the sword, and the land of Nimrod, and the entrances thereof. Thus shall he deliver us from the Assyrian, when he cometh into our land, and when he treadeth within our borders. And see, this is talking about the land inside the body. Jerusalem. Jesus himself said it's not it's not buildings made with hands. Our body is the city, or the temple. The city will be whenever Jesus, Yeshua Mashiach, comes back. But our body is the temple. So a lot of the times when we read this stuff, that's why he says you cannot worship me in flesh. You have to worship me in spirit. But this whole brotherhood of the Freemasons, even there now, he's talking about the end times in here in Micah chapter 5. And he's saying right there that even the land of Nimrod is still moving. The wickedness of Nimrod is still going. Babylon is still happening. And that's where all this Kabbalists, that goes to the Hindu religion, that branches out to the Catholics and the Muslims, because all of them, you got the Muslims who walk around a big black cube, you got the the Jews that have got the black box cube that comes far off their head. You've got the Hindus that have their chakra system, which is the same thing as this black cube. Theirs is called Suryanka, I believe, in the Hindu religion. This cube. And the beads that the Catholics use, it's the same thing that the Hindus use, and it's the same thing as the black strap that the Jews wrap around their arm. It all is the same stuff. That's why when these Freemasons go into this room, they know that they're a brotherhood, that all they're conspiring for so many hundreds of years. These seeds conspiring together, all these nations, this brotherhood, to bring us together to this point that we are in time, in existence. The United States of America is one of the most known, biggest countries, nations in this world. And I believe the United States of America is part of this deception. They are the biggest brotherhood. Every building in this place is constructed around this occultism. I mean, look at this. Where is this it? Yes. Look at this. This right here is still happening. This right here, see, that's their dome, some kind of dome. But look at the structure of it, okay? And then, I mean, you see that's for their flag, but that is looking up overhead, okay? But they resonate energy, okay? Everything resonates energy. That's why the buildings are made specifically for that reason. But the Washington Monument, the dome, these dome buildings, all these structures, they're the same structures all over the world. It's because they resonate energy. Why do we have an Egyptian pyramid on the back of the United States dollar bill? If we are founded for God, and God, Yahuwah God Almighty, is so against it in the Word of God, against the Egyptian ways, why is a country that on the same dollar bill it says, "In God we trust"? There is false, occult, Egyptian magic all over it. And it's in every nation. It's not just ours. Look at all the money all over the world. All of them. Because what they want is us to carry that money in our pockets and keep those symbols on us, radiating that energy inside of our bodies, keeping us dumbed down so the left and the right part of the brain do not know what's going on. All these symbols resonate energy. This is a Freemason book, a dictionary of Freemasonry. Do a lot of research in the cube. The cube is actually mentioned in the Word. Ephesians 4:14. Now this is the only one that I've found for this word, but I know that it's mentioned other places because our Father, Yahuwah Yahusha, knows exactly what's going on. Everything that they're doing behind closed doors, these elites, that the fallen angels are ruling just as much as they want to, right? Everything they're doing, they're not going to get away with it. Our Father knows what they're doing. He sees the things they're doing. And our Father even says it in Jeremiah chapter 10, when people think it's talking about the Christmas tree, when it's talking actually about the tree that the Kabbalists, this tree of life, this magical tree of life that seems to help them get into the spirit realm. That's the tree that he's speaking about in Jeremiah chapter 10. Now, yes, it could be considered the Christmas tree, but the Christmas tree represents the same tree, this defilement against the Lord's word. But the only word for cube in here is Ephesians 4:14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the slate. That word slate is G2940. Kibos, a cube, die for playing, gambling, slate of men, and cunning craftiness. So we be no longer carried away by every wind of doctrine, of cunning craftiness. And that word for cunning craftiness, subtlety, shrewd, crafty. Okay. Whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So let's read this again. Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the slate, which means cube, of men, and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. That is the only word for cube that I have found so far. Well, actually, that Yeshua HaMashiach has led me to so far. But it's interesting that the word cube that's used here, slate of doctrine, is talking about that we no longer be carried about by every wind of doctrine, tossed to and fro. And he's talking about Yeshua HaMashiach. So this cube, right? This cube is very specific in the religion of the Freemasons. It's a brotherhood. And this cube, the Transformers, right? You've got a cube in the beginning of it where it shoots off sparks. Well, these sparks are your good works. And literally, this is a real thing in the Kabbalist Jews' religion. When the sparks that come off the cube, these sparks are your good works. Okay, so this is the way Yeshua has helped me to understand this. Think about a child that's playing a video game, and they're jumping in this video game, and they're listening to words that are being fed to them in this video game, and sounds that are being fed to them, and they're doing all these actions. So everything they're playing in the video game, they're being fed in their brain. So when they get done playing that video game, all the works, all the actions, all the movements that they do is going to come from what they just learned from that video game. So there's your works. And it comes from the same thing from watching television, your shows that you watch, whatever's being fed to you, the works that you do, even if you don't even realize that it's happening to you. But we've been being fed this stuff since we were come out of the womb. Every one of us, especially if you live in the United States of America. And none of us can say we can't. Everybody knows what a Disney movie is. Everybody. And we know where they come from. They straight up a cult. So I'm just saying, my friends. I mean, this cube is a big thing. They're feeding this to us. I mean, the Xbox, it's a cube. It's a child's video game. The television that you got, it's a black cube. Your cell phone is a cube. I learned a lot of this stuff from Anthony Patch. Really dig him. If anybody don't know who he is, please listen to him. He's really awesome. But I just want to praise Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach. Oh, and I wanted to show you one more thing. Because the cube represents the Star of David. Somehow, some way, I don't understand a lot of that yet. Maybe I ain't going to show you something else. I might just have to be standing by. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, nope, there it is. Bam. Alright, so here you have an alchemy, the alchemy symbols, right? Okay, so you got your 4 elements right here. Alright, so these are your elements. So I'm assuming that's fire, wind, earth, water. Okay, so look at that. You put those together, this one over here on top of that one, and that one over there on top of that one, and it makes the Star of David. 2 triangles overlapping each other makes the Star of David. When you take those 2 and you put them together, that makes another very odd, peculiar, strange, whatever they want to call it. To me, they all remind me of the Hindus, mandalas, or whatever those things are called, that resonate energy. Each one goes to each chakra, has its own color, has its own sound tone. It's all these triangles. They're just lined together in different ways. And these triangles make their cube, which is as above, so below, which to them makes them a god. Because they say, oh, we can go into the spirit realm and be into the flesh. And that's what it all is, a symbolic way to be able to reach the spirit realm, which we do not understand. I mean, you've got in Isaiah 22, the valley of vision. Our Father is talking to the valley of vision and telling him, don't even come before me, because I am weeping bitterly for my people being turned away, or for my people being defiled. This is in chapter 22 of Isaiah. The valley of vision is being talked to. I mean, these ninjas are tapping into stuff. These Kabbalists, this brotherhood, this Freemason brotherhood, they're tapping into things that they truly do not understand. But that, well, actually they do. Because the Word of God says that they desire to tap into hell. They've made a covenant with death and hell. Yep, maybe Isaiah 57 is where that one is. He also talks about that in Nahum, I believe. But anyway, y'all have a blessed day in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. The Word of God tells us about every bit of this stuff. And in Jeremiah chapter 10, he explains that these people have to be born. They gotta be born. This stuff has to happen for prophecy to be fulfilled. It's got to. They have to be born. Don't be scared of them. Don't be scared of the things that they do. Don't have fear. Just know that I've got every bit of this. Yahuwah, Yahusha, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ has got every bit of this. He knows everything that they're doing. He's already wrote it. It's already been done. Praise Yeshua. Y'all have a blessed day. Glad to talk to you again.